30-second email reply where it takes up 8 hours of your mental bandwidth. A 2-minute phone call hangs over your entire day. I realized later on, the most absurd part is none of this even matters. Yet somehow, what truly drains our attention is rarely the heavy lifting. It's the endless little things that we just leave running. Why is that? Picture this. You're right in the middle of a chaotic workday, but your brain is running dozens of background apps. The dinner reservation isn't made yet. That subscription auto-renews tomorrow. An article you saved weeks ago but never got around to reading. Oh, right. That package just got delivered. And wait. Stop. I need to get my focus back right now. The priority right now is to finish what's in front of me. Then I'll deal with the noise later. But 2 minutes later, they all rush back. As if they're terrified you'll forget. Why does that happen? The American author and consultant David Allen calls these cognitive background apps open loops. Essentially, any unresolved task triggers a subtle psychological itch, a subconscious tension that refuses to clear until it's closed. Think about it. You get a text out of nowhere, from someone you haven't spoken to in years. You don't know whether to reply or how to reply. That text will follow you around until the end of time. It's completely trivial. Most of the time, replying or ignoring it changes absolutely nothing. But it just stays there. The people who need every single thread to have a perfect ending usually end up carrying the most anxiety. It's like a tiny voice in your head, whispering every second, "Hey, don't forget. Don't forget. Whatever you do, don't forget. You have to handle this today. If you don't do it now, the day is over. You're out of time." You used to think that once your to-do list hit 0, you'd finally be free. But after less than 10 minutes of breathing room, your brain starts nagging you again. Wait, hold on. Did I forget something? Then I noticed something. The people who actually look relaxed don't necessarily have less on their plate. They've just stopped trying to hold on to everything. Think about it this way. What happens when a computer runs 50 background apps at the same time? Everything lags. The fan spins wildly, the battery drains. Our brains work the exact same way. What's burning you out isn't the actual work you're doing. It's the loops you leave open in the background. The brain is a tool for having ideas, not holding them. Let's try a quick experiment. Next time you think, I need to reply to that email, stop repeating it in your head. Just write it down. Then watch what happens. The moment your brain genuinely trusts that the task is captured, it instantly goes quiet. Why? Because it's finally relieved of its memory duties. But writing it down is only step one. Dumping these thoughts into a digital system sounds great, in theory. The problem is, most tools are over-engineered. They feel like enterprise project management software. I could never understand why a small 2-minute matter like returning a call, booking a dentist, or canceling a subscription requires filling out a dozen different boxes. It makes a quick, easy action feel like a massive chore. So, being a bit lazy myself, I built a radically simple setup for myself and everything became so much smoother. Inside, there's a space dedicated entirely to these open loops. Whenever a thought pops up, I just dump it in and quickly log its cognitive weight. I don't sit down and obsessively organize them. I just capture it the second it arrives. Then I clear these loops at a fixed time every day, usually the last 30 minutes before I log off. Or I knock them out during tiny pockets of downtime throughout the day. If you always feel like you're falling behind, the issue might not be your efficiency. It's that you have too many unclosed background apps running in your head. They might not be important, but they are constantly stealing your bandwidth. When you stop using your brain as a storage drive, only then will you realize peace of mind isn't about getting everything done. It's about finally having enough presence for what you are doing right now. If you're carrying around a million tiny things you can't let go of, try this out today. Maybe leave a like if this helped. See you in the next loop.